This is a tankless hot water heater by GASLAND, and a special thank you to them for sending it out to me so that I can showcase it to you. Today, we're gonna do all the things. I'm gonna show you what comes in the box. We're gonna talk about installation, what happens, what pieces does it come with, what are you gonna need? And then we're gonna talk about how it works. I'm gonna talk about all the things that I love. If there's anything that I find tricky or problematic along the way, we're gonna talk about that too. And then we'll round off with whether or not I think it's worth it for you to check it out. So getting the unit out, you can see that it comes with some of the supplies that you need. It's going to include the silicone glue, the mounting hardware, the exhaust ring, the gas valve, and the overflow valve. We'll set those aside here and get into the actual unit. The actual unit itself is already put together. The installation is just connecting everything. It's got an instruction manual as well. Okay, so before we get this mounted, this is the bottom of the unit I wanted to show you. You have 4 important things happening here. First is the hot water outlet, which is going to be right there. It's coming down basically from the left side of the unit when you're looking at it head on. Next, you've got your natural gas inlet, which is right there. This is the natural gas unit, so make sure before you install that you do use natural gas. That's very important. And then you have the cold water inlet on the far right. You also have the plug. This is just your plug outlet because you do need electricity running to this unit. Even if it's natural gas, even though it's natural gas, you need electricity for the unit to function. So both things are true. Make sure that you know what all those are and that you're prepped for that, and we'll go ahead and start installing. So talking through installation, first of all, we did add aftermarket valves. These are added here so that we can easily access the unit for servicing. So you can see on here, you're going to need to put something to put the water through, but we chose these because they allow us to be able to run a cleansing solution through the unit to make sure that we keep it in top working order. They do also have the control valves to turn on and off the water right here at the unit, which I really appreciated. So we made sure to use the silicone glue that came included so that it's got nice tight seals and that we don't have any water leaking out. You're also going to want to make sure that you're using the pipe wrench to tighten it all the way. Again, it's really important that you have a firm seal. Next up here, we attach the overflow valve. As I mentioned earlier, this does come with the unit so that it has somewhere to go should you have extra water. Finally, we're putting on the little connector pieces that are going to allow us to connect to whatever tubing you're using. That was not included with the unit. We did purchase those also aftermarket, but use that same silicone glue to attach. Finally, a quick wipe to make sure everything was clean and ready to go. Now we're measuring for mounting. We did mount on a 2x4. We marked the holes using that measuring tape and then went ahead and pre-drilled the holes and then added the mounting screws. We wanted to make sure that this was going to sit nice and tight. Then we simply hung the unit on and tightened the screws in. So once you get that on there, make sure you're lined up and level, tighten up, and it'll stay and be secure. We did this both on the top and the bottom. Next up, it was time to install the gas pipeline. Right here, we are using an aftermarket that we already had sealant to make sure that we had a nice tight seal so that no gas was escaping through our connections. We did also test with the dish soap method to make sure that we had absolutely nothing coming out because that's really important. You're going to want to use a pipe wrench to get that there. Then start attaching your water lines. The hot water is coming out on that left side, so we attached it there and tightened and sealed. And then next up, we'll make sure we get this cold water line in. You can use different types of piping. This is what we opted for, but you could also use a standard PVC piping. This one is not necessary. Then we turned it on. Once you plug in, you can see it's immediately going to start gauging the temperature of what the water is and what it's set to. To adjust the temperature, you simply push up and down. You'll see that it blinks, and then when it stops blinking, you know that that's the temperature that it is set to. You have some different components here. That indicates that a faucet's on. That is that there's water circulating through the unit. Pretty easy. The manual does include information on this. I also wanted to show you these are our connections. We have to run our water down, so we ran pipes down so that the water could come in through the bottom, and then it comes out the hot water there on the left. You can see these valves are aftermarket, something that we wanted to have to service the machine, but you're going to have to purchase something to go here to connect the unit to your piping. Okay, so this guy's been installed for a little over a week. I have 5 kids, 4 of them are girls. We do lots of cooking, obviously lots and lots of laundry because my kids, athletes, all the things. And this thing has worked amazing. A couple of things that I really liked. I like the simplicity. Installation was really easy. It's very straightforward. There's not a ton of pieces and parts. You do need to make sure that you're doing it safely, that you're making sure that you're doing things by code and all of that. But it's pretty straightforward and came with almost everything that we needed. There's some aftermarket stuff that we talked about earlier that you can add on, but I really liked it. That worked out well. But more importantly, it works awesome. Keep in mind, like any tankless, it is not instant heat, right? You're gonna have to turn the water on. That's gonna trigger it coming into the unit and running out. So it takes a second. I would say it takes 20 to 30 seconds for it to get hot water, really like this hot water coming. That being said, that's the case with every tankless. I really liked about this one how easy it is. My sister and my mom both have tankless hot water heaters that came with their houses, and it's a pain to try and see what temperature it's at. This is not the case. Look how easy it is for me to adjust temperatures. I can just hit the button and it does whatever I want it to do. So great. And then it'll blink and tell me that it's set. I love that. Your power button's right here. Super easy again. And I like that it has a safety feature that you cannot turn the heat to a different temperature while water is running through the unit. So overall, it's been great. We're talking about things that are tricky. I mean, like with any appliance installation, you need to pay attention. Make sure that that this is a big enough unit for your house. This was perfect for us, but do your research. Check and make sure that this is the right size unit that you're gonna need, and that you have all the setup, that you have an electrical outlet, because this is gonna need to be able to be plugged in, that you have your water pipes coming up from the bottom where they can, that you have this 3/4 gas hose. Make sure you have all those things, or that you have the professionals or the know-how and the pieces and parts to get them. But as long as you have it, this is gonna be such an awesome addition to your house, and I hope you would love it just as much as we have.